Alright guys, welcome to Gusto Reactions once again. Thank you so much for always liking, sharing, subscribing, telling everyone about what we do right here at Gusto TV. And of course, shout out to every one of you out there, yes, at the protest ground, tweeting, donating, doing every single thing. It's Operation End SWAT.
No.
I mean, SARS has ended. Yeah. And SWAT came on board and said no, SWAT has to end as well, even like dead on arrival. That is the word out there right now. And of course, we hope that the federal government listen, and of course they do the right thing. Guys, please keep on exercising your right to protest peacefully. Yes, protest peacefully, and of course demand for every single thing. We as a generation, we hope to be the change that will lead Nigeria to that promised land. Yes. Gusto Reactions, Lala, you're welcome once again. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing, man.
You don't chill now. Did you go to protest?
I was protesting online. I'm shooting and protesting with our content.
With our content, yes. That's about it. Yes. Yeah. So we've been shooting, protesting with our content, and of course, we hope that Nigeria very soon becomes a great nation and a better, place for all of us to stay in. Now, looking at this protest. Yeah. The way it is, end SARS, end SWAT, police brutality has to stop, and all of those things. Yeah. Some artists who have been at the major front line in terms of the protest, both online and offline. Yeah. We know that Wizkid has been tweeting, and of course, he also was in London for the protest, Sunday. Yeah. Also, DAVIDO was in Abuja, met with the IG, met with the Speaker of the House of Reps, Femi Gbajabiamila. And of course, Burna Boy as well. I said, guys, don't think that I'm not with you. We are together in this whole struggle and everything. Yeah. I have a project, Project Protect, foundation. Sure. I also have, I've also done some billboards and all of that. Yeah. Now, these three major guys, we all know before the SARS protest. Yeah. The black box interview, Wizkid, Burna Boy being the center of discussion, between DAVIDO and Ebuka. Now, end SARS has come to stay, and all of those things has overshadowed every single thing. Yeah. A lot of artists have put in their differences, put aside their differences to actually come together to fight a common enemy, which is the police force and of course bad governance. That is the common enemy. I mean, not only the police force, bad governance. Now, bet the rot ready for police force right now. Yes. If the top is good, I'm sure we'll get everything right. So every artist, no matter who you are, male, female, young, old, they've all come together right now to put their differences aside, and everyone is fighting a major goal. For a major goal, fighting a common enemy, bad governance. Now, putting these three artists on the spotlight: Wizkid, DAVIDO, Burna Boy. A lot of fans of this artist have also come together to fight this. Now, taking away the lesson from this protest and taking it into the music side of things, do you think that this is the right time for this artist, Wizkid, DAVIDO and Burna Boy, to shed their swords and come together and settle this seeming triangular rivalry between the three of them?
I don't think it's the right time, personally.
Really?
I don't think it's the right time, because if they pull that kind of, I don't want to call it stunt. Right now, it looks like it's taking the attention away from what's going on right now. It's good that everyone is not talking about whatever beef they have. Nobody is talking about even albums are being shifted and things like that. Nobody is even sending that, oh, this one didn't do that. Everyone is just focused on the same goal, which is end police brutality, and using your platform to add to the voice and everything. So that's what people are really concerned about. I don't think anybody out there really wants to listen and say, oh, DAVIDO, Wizkid, but can three of you and Burna Boy, and three of you just come together and end everything and show. People won't send them. People won't send them because they'll feel it's not something they're looking to achieve in the nearest future. What they want is end police brutality, and what is good about this whole thing is a lot of insignificant things are being forgotten. Like the differences that they have. They're not working individually, but they're using their individual platforms to do their bits. And according to what I saw, was it today? I think Wizkid, BURNA. I'm not sure BURNA was there, but I think DAVIDO and some other artists were involved in a sort of Zoom meeting with private owners and
business executives
and government officials. So they didn't organize that. It's probably guys from the government and private sector who are trying to get things to cool down. So yes, that means they're all for the common goal, and they're not. If they were about the beef that they had, anywhere the other person is doing something, they don't want to have a voice with you.
But Lara, don't you think that it would be a really a major disservice to music fans if after we achieve the aim of this end SARS, end SWAT protests, good governance, end the police brutality, we achieve all of these things, and then we go back to the music and there's still beef amongst these guys?
It won't be a disservice because we're already used to it. We're already used to the fact that yes, there's this beef that has gone on for a while. Well, I don't think anybody is thinking right now what they should do. If they truly wanted to sing Kumbaya and say, okay, this is over, the project that Burna Boy came up with would have been a collaboration with several other artists. Like it would be, we know that yes, these are creatives who came up with this. But it seems they don't want. It seems nobody wants to do anything collectively. People are doing individual things. Like Burna Boy with his projects, NG 2020, things like that. Wizkid, we've not heard of any foundation is coming, but he's using his platform. Davido took it upon himself. I know we bashed him and everything, but at the end of the day, it seems like he really cares for the people. So he's putting upon himself, although there's still backlash that why is he putting himself in the position when no one has appointed him. But then the act that he's doing it means he does care. And then these guys have been on the platform to what's it called, on the Zoom meeting with the government and private business executive. So they are just individually. I don't think they are coming together to do it.
But their fans are coming together.
The fans are not even looking at what Wizkid. Well, these real stars are looking at what Wizkid is doing and what Davido is doing and comparing and say this one did that and all. But the actual majority of fans are actually focused on the goal, which is NSAS, end police brutality and bad governance, end SWAT. That's what people are actually doing. And then the good thing about it is people are actually now using their content as assets for the protest. We saw how people use Davido's fame to shut up the Lagos State governor. We saw people in Port Harcourt singing Ajabo Hustler. So people are their asset is already playing a role, like influence is already playing a role, but they're just not doing it together. And I don't think they should strive to do anything together at the moment, because it's clear that the young ones who are protesting do not want any sort of coalition or any sort of people to.
So you don't think a protest that would have Wizkid, Burna, and Davido leading the front line would also like increase the intensity of the demands of the people?
Without them, you know how long it took some of these guys to actually come out and talk. Who started it? The local influencers who started, and then the normal Nigerian youth who just bit by bit, the fire was just stoking in them and they were just coming out before these guys now came about and start putting their mouth. Now we see a lot of celebrities who are actually now joining physically in the protest. I read some of them are using bouncers as personal security, but we shall see them that they've come out. On a normal day they will just say it online, but a lot of people now have the courage to come out, and it's not entirely down to these artists. It's just down to the sheer number of young people who have come out online and on the streets to protest. So I don't think the combination is going to add anything extra to what is going on. Fine, they are taking upon themselves to now interface between the young ones and the government as it should be, but then without them, with or without them, there's still going, someone else will still pop up.
But you've always been talking about having a face to this thing.
Yes, I've always been a someone who wants someone to represent.
So what if we have the three of them? You don't think it will add more strength to the face?
If we're going to have someone to represent, I don't think any of these artists are, how will I say, qualified. I'm gonna give an example. When Davido was meeting with the IG, I watched the whole 40 minutes clip. Davido had his bit to say, but the most I won't say not reasonable, the most important things that had to be said in terms of planning, strategy and all those things was said by his lawyer, who was present in there. Asha Asika would have tried to say something, but he didn't really speak much in that meeting with the IG. But the lawyer had plenty to say, and he said so many sensible things. And at the end, when Davido granted an interview out after it looked like he didn't know what, like they had to be throwing the words at him of this is what was discussed. So it shows these guys I cannot trust any musician to go and represent the youth in those sort of discussions.
But you said, you just said you seem like you have a good mind or a good heart.
Yes, it does. But like I said, what made me change my mind about it is after the interview, you just came out of the meeting. What you just discussed should be in your head. That means you were paying attention, you were listening. But while you were going to the interview, people were throwing the words at you that this is what was discussed. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it's the pressure of what's going on and everything. But then I think we need, we need the representation, right? We just don't need anyhow representation. Just because people are popular and famous, there needs to be people in all sectors of life. Musicians, yes, but you have to remember some of these musicians, their reality is different from your own. They are popular. If stars or police stop them right now, it's not to harass them. It's not to harass them. It's to say your guy give us something. It's people who are hit the streets. You need to get people who have been there from day one, who are on the streets. You need to get people who have been vocal from these things from time immemorial. As much as people don't like some people who have been vocal about it, we understand. But the people who have to be involved are people who have been. But now the problem I see is the people who have been around the time immemorial are saying they don't want to have anything to do with any panel. Imagine. So who's going to represent? Who's going to interface? How do we now say, okay, enough is enough of what we're doing? How are we coming back to the drawing board? Okay, fine, we've won this battle. Who's going to determine that? What would it take to say, okay, stop the protest? And right now there isn't anything like that. Yeah, as at the time of shooting the video, there's nothing like that.
A couple of fans were actually requesting that if we have a Burna, Wiz and Davido on a track, you know, concerning demand for good governance, demand for a better Nigeria, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
It won't be a bad idea, but don't forget that this is just going to make these guys a target. Are they prepared to be a target?
They're already a target.
No, they're not, because they're not individually leading. For example, I'm going to give you an example. You see in Enugu now, Flavor, what's it called?
Zoro, Philo.
Apparently they organized a protest. But do you know for a fact that these guys actually came hours late to that protest and went straight to the front of the queue and started holding microphone and everything? That's eyewitness of people who were there. So are those the kind of people who want to leave the fate of protesting for good governance? Those are not the kind of people, because some people, as much as they seem concerned, they're just doing it for making it be like, say, I don't follow them protest for prosperity's sake and say, oh, I'm an artist, I did it. That's it's bitter truth.
Adding to their CV.
Adding to their CV that I followed protest when this and this and what that. That's what it is. So we don't need any of these guys who want to come and chase clout over the struggles of people.
So their fans beg them to please come together. Wizkid, please join Burna Boy, please join Davido. Three of you come together and, you know, share your swords, make peace.
I don't think it will be about three of them, because if anybody wants, I think the musicians, the creative as a whole should come out as a body and say we want to support so and so to represent the Nigerian people. We give these people the backing. It shouldn't be about those.
But you know that if we talk about musicians, artists, and everything, these are the three biggest in Nigeria at the moment. So the thing is, if we are saying if the three biggest in Nigeria are not in a cooperative mood or cooperative mode, then how do we extend the whole, you know, cooperative thing to the rest?
But you know that it's not down to them.
No, I know it's not down to them.
Yeah, people want them to come together.
But don't you see this as a very good opportunity for these guys? I mean, when are they going to have? This is a movement that has no tribe, a movement that has no religion, a movement that has no, oh, you are upper class or middle class, you are lower class. No. Sure, you understand? Oh, you are an Apala singer. Oh, Burna Boy is a Afrofusion. Oh, Davido, I'm pop. Or Wizkid. Like, all of us are the same. Like, we are the same. I've seen a lot of guys from the street stand beside Fowles, the bad guy. On a normal day, they wouldn't stand beside him because you probably have bouncers, you probably have one or two people. You get. Yeah. Now, protest ground, you see people behind, you know, a couple of these artists. On a normal day, you wouldn't have these guys beside them. So it has taught everybody to the same thing. So I'm saying that, talking about a Wizkid, a Burna Boy, a Davido, who we know are the top three in Nigeria, who we know have, like, yes, I mean, I know everybody has a voice, but these guys' voices are quite loud because of the fans they control.
See, it would be nice as much as Davido went to Abuja to assist and do what, you don't forget that there are still people who don't like the fact that it looked like he went there
for his own personal
to represent the people and nobody asked him to. True or false? The same thing can be said to several other people who want to do any of that. Apparently, Davido actually called some other guys to come and meet him in Abuja, but some of them were wise enough to say no, we don't want. We want to stay in Lagos and coordinate things here. So I don't think the people want representation, which is what I feel is right now is not the way to go. We need representation, and the ones who are eligible, who have been on ground since day one, say they don't want to have anything to do because they don't want to put themselves in that spot of being the decision makers or taking decisions on behalf of people. And then when things go wrong, they say, yeah, the one that went to go and negotiate to collect money from the government. So that's what they. So right now, me, I don't see how this is going to play out to end.
But what, the thing is, nobody is saying, oh, Wizkid, Burna, David should go and represent.
Yeah. To come together.
Like, they just trying to say, you know what, come together, settle your differences.
The difference cannot even come into play in this world. Now the thing is, naturally, they feel that if they come together to push, like Wiz, David, Burna comes at it, and let's go, let's join the crowd to do this thing. It will create a more we are together kind of thing now. But I don't think it's. So what I feel is this: if they come together, they don't come together. It's not going to add. It's going to add or subscribe from whatever is going on right now. With or without them, whatever is going to happen right now is happening. Without whether they're saying it or not. Wizkid is not in the country. Burna Boy is not in the country. But yes, people are still going out to protest. It's not Wizkid that is leading the protest in Lagos. There is also Davido. Apparently he doesn't want to lead a protest. He came to support. He's not leading a protest. So what do you now expect from these other guys to do? They're not. Wizkid has only been able to come out once in London, but maybe that's the permit. Like in Senna climbs, you have to get a permit before you can do those kind of things. And they got a permit for just one day. So, but the guys in Nigeria who are the ones doing the most, they're the ones that we need. I don't think a collaboration of their efforts and blah blah blah. Fine, it might work, but Burna Boy has come with a project NG 2020. I've not followed. I don't know who is handling. I don't know what is being done. The only thing I saw over the weekend was they were sharing data for people to stay online so that they can continue tweeting things like that and that. The actual people who are getting volunteers of lawyers, who are paying, who are bailing people out, who are getting lawyers, we see them on Twitter. We see the bunch of
FK Abudu,
we see all those are the kind of people I feel are very important to this struggle because they've been able to set up a structure, get funding to effect any of these things. Imagine they're getting food to people who are protesting. I've not seen a Davido say people who are protesting this way, let's go and give them. I've not seen that. I've not seen a Wizkid do any of that. I've seen them tweet a lot online. Burna Boy has come and protesting, but the actual people who are doing the bulk of the work, I feel those are the representation we need, not these artists, because as much as it's bad, if they spoil market for artists, if they come out like that.
But NSAS will come. NSAS has come. NSAS will go. Hopefully, it creates the change that we desire. Now we'll go back to the music, and then the beef is still there. Should the beef stay?
Let the beef stay. It doesn't affect us. Does it affect you? The beef does not affect us now. It doesn't affect us. If anything, Davido thinks the beef makes him a better artist, a bigger artist.
Yeah, he said in the interview.
It adds value to him, right? Yeah. Whether he likes it or not, it adds value to him. The beef makes the culture of pop like continuous. Like people still respect not even respect. People regard
it still creates like keeps the fire burning.
Keeps the fire burning amongst their fans and everything. So it keeps the culture burning. So I don't think the beef will end anytime soon. If they want to say,
you don't want it to end.
That's my own. If it doesn't. If they like when they fight, my own Coco will say, give us good music. And then also to Davido fans, I know you guys will be happy. Okay, I'm going to admit, Fem was a bob during this period. It served a lot of purpose, so I give it thumbs up.
Shout out Davido fans. Yes. Thank you so much, guys, for staying put with us. Lala, I said it all.
I've said it all. There's nothing much to add.
Thank you guys so much. What do you think? I mean, even after we say everything on this show, we always want to hear from you.
Yeah, people go back to their lives. Yeah. And what I like is people put away I mean, I tweeted something the other day. People put away their differences for a common goal. I said almost everybody, because I knew something was still going to happen. Before I knew it, well, as at the time we're shooting the video, there's already workers about this one wants to take credit, that wants to take credit. This
everybody wants to take credit.
And I thought to myself, like, I knew it was going to happen. That's why if there's no one leader, things like this will continue to happen. Continue to happen.
Guys, thank you so much. We want to hear from you. What do you think about Davido, Burna Boy, and Wizkid actually, leaving everything aside right now and seeing this movement as an opportunity to actually cut off from the beef and everything and unite together? I mean, fans will be happy to see Davido, Wizkid, and Burna Boy finally settling whatever differences they have. Fans don't care. Anyway, fans, we're asking you, do you care about them using this particular opportunity to settle their differences and go back to being very good friends? Yes, Wizkid was in Davido video. Yes, Burna Boy and Davido had done songs together before. Yes, Burna Boy and Davido. Wizkid and Burna Boy also, they are still very cool. So we want to hear from you. What do you think about this situation, NSAS protest alongside Wizkid, Burna Boy, and of course Davido beef? Let us know in the comment section. We'll write it to reply to every one of you. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next one. Please, before we go, it's still Operation End SWAT, NSAS, End Police Brutality, Reform the Police, sack the IG. Yes.
End bad governance.
End bad governance.
All these people in NAS that earning newspaper salary of
1.something
per person.
Yes.
How much is newspaper?
Exactly.
So all those things.
End bad governance, and of course, please make Nigeria great again.
Make Nigeria great again.
Aluta.
Nigeria. MNGA.
MNG. Make Nigeria great again. Yeah. MNGA. Make Nigeria great again. Yes.
This is our outro.
NSAS. Make it long, make it long. NSAS, NSAS, NSWAT, MNGA, make Nigeria great again. Manga. Okay, make Nigeria great again. Manga. Yes. See you guys. Peace.